Okay, so Avalon Bay sent us a pressure washing machine. We are not sponsored by them. We just received the washing machine for free to try out, but we do have a discount code in the bottom that's for 15% off. I have used these before when I was cloth diapering and I didn't want to put dirty diapers into my washing machine. I would use this first, so it's an exact duplicate of what I used to use, but now we're off grid and it would be really nice to be able to wash certain items here rather than traveling into town to do laundry there. And we're trying to cut back on how much laundry we use by using aprons and just being cautious and taking fancy clothes off and hanging them up. But there are things that we need to wash. It would be nice if we could wash everything in this. I don't think that that's going to happen, but we're going to try it. When you do off-grid laundry, what you do is you wash your cleanest items first, usually your whites. You wash them, you rinse them, you hang them. And then you move progressively to the next dirtiest thing until your water is dirty, and then you change your water. I have a rinse tub. I have water heating on the stove. I'm not going to use boiling water inside the washer because I'm afraid it will melt and hurt the washer, but I'm going to use very, very, very hot water. I do wish that we had a wringer because it's really hard to get all the water out, and you don't want to be wasting your water by hauling it out, and you don't want to be getting your rinse water dirty by putting a lot of wash water into it. So we will go ahead and get started.
Looks almost like that robot in Star Wars. That circle one.
It does, doesn't it? Like R2-D2?
Yeah.
Alright, first off, I'm going to look for instructions. You see them? Okay, so this tape here, in my understanding, is to seal it because this is 2 parts, not 1 part. And I really, really don't remember how to put this together. I wonder if that's a drainage spout. If this was a drainage spout, I would like it a lot better than the last one I used because it didn't have a drainage spout, and it was really hard to get the water out without the clothes coming too. Okay, sort the laundry into loads according to material type and or colors. Add the required amount of water and detergent according to the washing chart below. For best results and easier rinsing, make sure to add the detergent and water before adding the clothes and then add the laundry. To drain, insert the water release valve at the bottom right of the drum. To do so, push slightly and turn the valve a quarter turn clockwise until it clicks in place. So that is exciting. The last time I used this, it did not have a release for the water. It says that rinsing can also be done in the machine. After draining the dirty water, leave the laundry in the machine and fill with clean cold water. Replace the pressure lid, tighten and turn the machine for about 30 seconds, then drain the Eco Wash, and if needed, repeat again. So it has these nifty little keyhole bits. I'll try and make it so you can actually see what I'm doing. And that goes in and up.
There we go. Now it's in.
Okay. All right, first, we're going to put that on and put on the little...
This is what we do next.
Okay, so if we wanted to put it on,
Can I please?
so that would allow you to drain it, which I think is an incredibly good idea, but it locks it off. It has a little pressure seal in there. We need to get the water, and because we're going to use hot water, I'm going to lean this up against the wall so that it can't flip on me.
Yeah.
Because it will do that. It'll flip on you.
Yeah. Boom, boom, boom.
I don't want to destroy the tub by putting in straight boiling water. Putting in a little bit of cold. Okay, so the instructions are that for a full load, you want 4 tablespoons of detergent. It'll take you 2 minutes to wash. And again, rinsing can be done in the machine. I don't really want to drain the water out after the first go though. 1, 2, 3, 4. Make sure to turn your lid so that it actually locks into place before you try to tighten it. So at that point we move it away from the wall. Okay, I'm going to test that again because that does not seem to have sealed correctly.
Can I?
There we go. I don't think I had it on tight enough before.
Can I, Mom?
I like that it has the suction cup feet. When I used it before by another manufacturer, it did not have suction feet and it would move all over.
This is fun. Mom, can this be my chore instead of hauling water? This is working out my muscles too.
Okay, so the time is that the wash time should be about 2 minutes. So we're going to look at it real quick. It is quite warm. And I do think that it could use just a little bit more water. Okay, so now it's full. That's the capacity line. Which you really could do for our family of 3 at the moment. You could do a week's worth of socks and underwear in this, no problem. Same thing with washcloths. If you wanted to do something more extensive, like jeans or something, only 1 pair of jeans will fit in at a time. And maybe 2 shirts, if they're not big shirts. But I would love not having to go in and do laundry at my mom's house because I want to be able to go visit and not necessarily focus on laundry while I'm there. And the reason this works is because it's pressurized. There's no like rotor or anything on the inside. It's that it's completely pressurized, it's squeezed down. This would actually make a really fantastic butter churn. Okay, so I'm going to look at it again. Lift up. It's totally pressurized. Okay. So the water is still quite hot. So if I were to set up 2 pans on the stove when I'm doing this, so that as I was finished washing with this one, the other one was already hot. So I had two pans with hot water and I'm going at the same time. Use one to fill this up and then have the other one still staying warm. Because if it only takes 2 minutes to do this, I would be ready. It's full? Good girl. Okay, go fill it up again. Okay, go fill it up again. Here, come spin this so I can start it.
That normally happens when you're pouring it.
So what we can do is if I did feel like I absolutely had to reuse the water, which I kind of feel that way, I would get in here and try to squeeze out as much water as I can and then dump it into the rinse.
And I'll start rinsing them.
Well, they're just going to sit. So this is our wash water, or our rinse water.
It has a little bit of soap in it though.
What does?
The tub.
Why?
Because we showered in it, remember?
And it is what we shower in. That is our indoor showering tub. So, and the water is really, really hot. I do wish that I had one of those rollers to get all this water out because it's going to hurt my hands for sure.
Let's just drain it.
I don't want to drain it. I don't want to waste the water. Hot. So I'm going to put a couple more things in. What can we put?
Towel?
There's a shirt. No, we're not going to put the towel in. No, we're not going to put a white in. There's that.
Pink.
And this. I'm not going to put in like nylon. This shouldn't go in because it's colored, but it's always washed with darks anyway, so we'll see what we think of that.
What about this?
No, because that's not cotton. It won't be able to handle the heat.
Can I turn it?
Yep, you can turn it this time. Let me get it nice and tight. And I need to make sure that these suction cups are on actual stable wood instead of in the space between. And yes, go ahead. It should. You can count to. How many seconds would you count to if you needed to be 2 minutes?
120 seconds. Can should I just count each round I go?
1, 2.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 19, 119, 120.
Okay.
Did I do some good
So
counting?
let's go ahead and look at it. Do you want to undo the lid? And then turn the whole thing. There you go. All right. So now some of my socks are further to the top. It's definitely easier to get them out. It's definitely easier to get them out after something else has kind of raised them to the top. I think this would be a lot easier with rubber gloves on. Okay, Paige's shorts.
Yep. What, they're not cotton?
Hmm?
They're not cotton?
Now at this point, if you don't have anything else in it, you could just tip it. You can see the water was a little bit, well, it's still really, really hot, and I hate to waste hot water. So that's why I'm trying to get as many. If I'd been smart, I would have done it in maybe a different order, but then I couldn't have used hot water. So I think this is just going to have a little bit of a learning curve.
Now
So,
we're gonna rinse
now I'm going to
everything.
show you if I was to do this. I'll try and show you so that my butt's not in the way. So
Oh, we want to get everything.
this is going to go here. And you can see, isn't that awesome? That is a much better design than the last one that I used. Because sometimes you do still have stuff in here, and if you want to rinse in here, you do want to be able to
Well, how are you gonna
leave the clothes in there.
Well, how are you gonna be able to get all the water out? Because that has to go up.
Well, if I had put it on the other way, should I put it on the other way? Would that make you happier?
Yeah, because
Okay, we'll put it on the other way.
it's not gonna.
There we go. Does
It's
that
not
make you
gonna-
happier?
Yeah, because we would still have some dirty hot water
Mm-hmm.
in it. Kai, come look.
Pretty cool, huh?
Fast. Come
See
see.
how that hooks on? It was just super easy.
See how fast that is going down?
So I have one thing left. Okay, so the one I'm a little bit dubious about doing is my stretchy yoga pants and also lingerie. I'm a little questioning that because I don't want to do, it needs to be done with cold water. Okay, so this will be the test. We'll do a cold water and see how that goes. So bring me,
A jug?
yeah, bring me a couple jugs of cold. I'm kind of wondering if I could just use the rinse water that I was just using. Because it's cold. Again, I do try to repurpose everything. It just doesn't make any sense to be running back and forth with water so much. And pour it in there.
Is it cold?
Yep. We'll pour the 2 new jugs in so that they're the new rinse water, and that way they're cleaner. And that way it's almost like they got 2 rinses. Go ahead. Okay. So once again, I'm going to use cast iron soap, not as much because I'm not going to run. So about maybe a teaspoon and a half. Good work. Okay, go fill them up again. Who did the last batch? Kaya did, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so this is just what it looks like when I rinse. So it has been through 2 cold rinses now. Go fill them up, Paige, and then come back and you can help me. Alright, so I'm going to move it back out, and it actually handles the movement pretty well. Alright, so far I am in love with this. I think we'll actually use it every week because I think I can be done with all my laundry inside of an hour. This is delicates in here right now, my yoga pants and a bra. Pretty happy with that. And you saw that I'm recycling my water by using my old rinse water as my new wash water. It's a lot harder to save the water coming through the top if you're wringing out something that's pretty big. The small ones come out pretty easy, but the big ones, it's just a little harder to save the water. Where's the water? Okay, bring it here. We're gonna probably need it. So, although I will admit that if you're using cast iron soap, it has a tendency to turn all water kind of grayish. For the washer itself.
Hiya. Hiya. Now we don't have to go into tearing laundry. We will still sometimes. For stuff like sheets and blankets.
Okay. Kaya, go put the pan up, please. This is the fill line. Don't fill it past that. It's like a pressure cooker. You need space, head space for that pressure to build up. The nice thing about this is you're getting your exercise too. You're outside in the pretty weather. If I was to do this in the winter time, we don't always have a lot of snow, and I think this would give you some pretty good wind barrier, which for us is the bigger deal, wind. It actually looks pretty good. I think it is cutting quite a bit of dirt out because these towels were definitely not as dirty as the other things like the socks, and the water's not as dirty. So I'm pretty happy about that. It isn't just the cloudiness of the cast iron soap, it's actually getting dirt out. Okay, so we started out with this covered in makeup, and it looks like the makeup, what happened was I needed to wipe some makeup off my face quickly. I'm thinking I'm going to put this back in with the towels.
You're going to be the hanger-upper. I am going to be the squeezer. And I am going to be the washer.
I think that might just be a stain now, because it's out like that. Squeeze the water in and out of it. See if you can get it any better. I am super happy with how the washcloths turned out. They look really nice and clean. What I do is I take old towels and I cut them up and serge them around, or hem them around the edges and use them as washcloths. So that's a washcloth. Hey Paige, go pull all the pillowcases off. Pull the pillowcase off my pillow. Pull the pillowcase off your pillow. Go get the pan that has the rest of the hot water in it, because it's not enough water to move everything. Okay, if you don't put enough water in it, it's really hard to turn. If you're going to have a full load, you do need to have the water up to the fill line. Okay, for this one, it's the last load. I am gonna add the arm. And if you don't take the top off, it can't drain itself because it can't breathe. There we go. Okay, so did you guys see that? I didn't have the lid off, and so it wasn't draining because the suction wasn't, it just was pressurized, so it couldn't come out the bottom.
Well, that's what it's made to do.
Yeah. If you're going to do laundry underneath some kind of plant or tree, you'll kill it because this water is really, really hot. So another reason why we're doing it here is you would need to let the water cool before you could apply it to anything. Okay, so that is 1.5 loads of laundry finished with that little machine, and I have to tell you, I'm really, really surprised. I think it had a lot to do with the fact that we're used to it by now, and that we have a pretty good system for heating water up, and we're not going through a ton of laundry. I'm going to dump out my rinse water. And put it up. This is already pretty well, oh, I have to remember. This is precious, don't break it. I'm going to dump out the rest of the water. I'm going to put this on the inside, and I'm going to put this next to it. I don't want to close it up because then I will have a problem with mold on the inside. And I'm kind of thinking that I'm going to put the wash tub over the top so that it's not exposed to direct sunlight. And you saw how well those suctioned. They were really quite suctioned. So I'm kind of thinking I want to store it like this, because one thing that is really hard on this kind of tool is sunlight, direct sunlight. So I've now protected my little washer, and I'm super excited to do it again next week. It was 2 of these full that we just washed. We did all our laundry in about an hour and a half, and it was pleasant time for me and the girls. We're all finished, and now we can go have the rest of our week.